For the first time in over a decade, Marvel is no longer unbeatable. The studio that once dominated pop culture now finds itself fighting for relevance. Box office numbers are shrinking, fan excitement is fractured, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, once the most reliable machine in Hollywood, is showing visible cracks. This is not just a bad year, it is a structural problem. Superhero films that once felt like cultural events now feel routine. What once felt like must-see cinema now feels optional. That is why Avengers Doomsday is not just another sequel, it is a rescue mission. Because if this movie fails, it will not just hurt Marvel. It could permanently change how Hollywood views the entire superhero era. How Marvel lost its cultural grip. From 2008 to 2019, Marvel did not just make movies, it ran pop culture. Each release felt like a shared global experience. Trailers became international events, midnight screenings were packed with fans in costume, online theories dominated social media. This dominance was built on trust. Audiences believed Marvel knew exactly where the story was going. Then Avengers Endgame happened. It was not simply a movie, it was a cultural finale. It closed a decade-long narrative in a way no franchise had ever done before. The problem is that Marvel never emotionally replaced that ending. The MCU continued, but the sense of direction disappeared. Viewers did not feel they were entering a new saga, they felt they were watching the aftershock of a finished story. Oversaturation broke the formula. Marvel's original strength was focus and restraint. Phases 1 through 3 were tightly controlled. Each movie mattered. Each character was carefully introduced and developed. After Endgame, that discipline collapsed. The MCU expanded across cinemas and streaming platforms simultaneously. Key story developments were buried inside Disney Plus series. Casual viewers were left confused. Hardcore fans felt exhausted. New characters arrived faster than audiences could emotionally attach to them. Instead of anticipation, viewers felt obligation. When entertainment begins to feel like homework, people disengage quietly. They do not rage online, they simply stop showing up. The multiverse diluted the stakes. Infinity War worked because everything pointed toward Thanos. One villain, one threat, one direction. That clarity created emotional weight. Post-Endgame Marvel lacks that focus. The Multiverse Saga introduced infinite timelines and endless variants. On paper, this allows unlimited creativity. In practice, it removes permanence. When death can be undone and timelines rewritten, nothing feels final. Consequences feel temporary. Emotional investment weakens. Audiences no longer feel that what they are watching truly matters. A story without permanent stakes eventually stops feeling like a story at all. Why Avengers movies still matter more than everything else. Despite all of Marvel's struggles, one truth remains. Avengers movies still command attention like nothing else in the MCU. They represent convergence. They bring scattered characters together. They signal that everything finally matters again. They turn a collection of movies back into a single story. This is why Avengers Doomsday carries enormous weight. This is not just another entry. It is Marvel's opportunity to restore narrative gravity. Avengers films are the only remaining projects that still feel historic rather than routine. Even the title signals a dark turn. Marvel rarely uses words like Doomsday. This is not random marketing, it signals a tonal shift. For years, Marvel leaned heavily into humor, even when stories demanded seriousness. The constant jokes weakened emotional impact. Audiences have matured. They now crave weight, danger, and consequence again. Doomsday implies collapse, finality, irreversible change. Marvel is quietly acknowledging that its universe must feel dangerous again if it wants to regain credibility. Marvel knows the multiverse is not working. The multiverse initially felt exciting. In practice, it fractured the audience. Too many timelines, too many alternate versions, too many soft reboots. Instead of deepening characters, stories became abstract puzzles. Viewers no longer know which events truly matter. Nothing feels permanent. Doomsday is expected to simplify this chaos by unifying fractured timelines into a single catastrophic conflict. Marvel does not need more complexity. It needs emotional clarity. The story must feel human again. The return of event filmmaking. One of Marvel's biggest mistakes after Endgame was making everything feel equal. When every movie is marketed as essential, none of them feel special. Avengers films once felt rare. They felt like cinematic holidays. Entire years built toward them. Doomsday is being positioned as a true event again. Fewer releases, more focus, bigger narrative consequences. Marvel is trying to restore the hierarchy that once made its universe feel meaningful. Hollywood is watching closely. This film is not just important for Marvel, it is important for the entire industry. Superhero movies have dominated Hollywood for nearly 20 years. Studios structured their entire business models around shared universes. If Marvel cannot reignite excitement, executives will see it as proof that audiences are moving on from superhero storytelling itself. That would reshape production strategies across Hollywood. This is not merely a Marvel test, it is a genre test. Why failure would be devastating. If Avengers Doomsday underperforms, it sends a brutal message that even Avengers films are no longer guaranteed cultural events. At that point, Marvel loses its final unbreakable pillar. The Muku shifts from cultural engine to ordinary franchise. Budgets shrink. Creative ambition contracts. Once prestige disappears, it is extremely difficult to rebuild. Marvel's last clean reset opportunity. Marvel still has one major advantage, a shared universe. But that advantage only matters if audiences believe in the story again. Doomsday offers Marvel a rare opportunity to re-establish consequences, simplify its mythology, and unify fractured storylines. This is not just a sequel. It is a structural reset disguised as a blockbuster, a chance to remind audiences why interconnected storytelling once felt magical instead of exhausting. The contract with the audience must be rebuilt. Marvel once had a powerful psychological contract with viewers. Invest in these stories and we will reward you. That trust has weakened. Too many characters have gone nowhere. Too many storylines feel disposable. Doomsday must rebuild that trust. It must convince audiences that emotional investment is worth it again. Without that trust, no cinematic universe can survive long-term. Why Marvel is betting everything on one film. Marvel does not need another moderate success. It needs momentum. Its biggest enemy is not criticism, but indifference. Indifference kills franchises quietly. Doomsday is designed to break that indifference. To make people feel that missing this movie means missing history. To restore the feeling that Marvel movies are not just content, but cultural moments. Marvel once ruled Hollywood without question. Now, for the first time, its future feels uncertain. Avengers Doomsday isn't just another sequel. It's a test of whether the MCU can still create moments that define a generation. And if it fails, the superhero era itself may never look the same again. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more smart movie analysis like this, make sure to like and subscribe, because the next chapter of cinema is already being written.